We are at stage 5, paragraph page 413. Last headword was tire, new word, type of lesson. Okay, and after that, oh, full stage revision after the stage 5. Okay, oh, but it says here, you're already done with stage 5 and you did reading last time, right?
Mm.
Okay,
Yes.
that's correct. So let's start stage 5, full stage revision.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Stage 5, full stage revision. 351. 315, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, this will be just all question and answer. Here we go. No reading for today. Here we go. Do you
Okay.
prefer chatting with your friends on the phone or online? Do you prefer chatting with your friends on the phone or online? I prefer
I
chatting
prefer
with
chatting
my
with my
friends
friends uh,
on the phone or
on,
online.
online
Online. Why? Why? Because
because it is easier,
very good.
more easier.
More easier. How often do you go online to look at your email? How often do you go online to look at your email? I go online.
I go online
How many times?
uh,
Like 3 times a
three
day
times a day
to look at my email.
to look at my email.
Very good. Okay, do you notice anything different about the classroom today? Do you notice anything different about the classroom today? Yes or no?
Yes,
I notice
I
something
notice
different
something different
about the classroom
about the
today.
classroom today.
Very good. What's the first thing you notice about people when you meet them for the first time? What's the first thing you notice about people when you meet them for the first time? The first thing I
The first thing
notice
I
about
notice
people
about
when I
people
meet them
when I
for the
meet
first
them
time
for the first
is
time
their voice.
is their voice.
Very good. Are most people busy on Sunday? Are most people busy on Sunday? No. Most
No,
people
most
aren't
people
busy on
aren't
Sunday.
busy on Sunday.
They're free.
They are free.
Very good. What do we mean by a free meal? What do we mean by a free meal? By a free meal,
By a free
we
meal,
mean that
we
we don't
mean
have
that we don't
to pay
have
for it.
to pay for it.
Very good. Do you believe that the best things in life are free? Do you believe that the best things in life are free? Yes or no?
Yes,
I believe
I
that
believe
the best
that the
things
best
in life
things
are
in
free.
life are free.
Very good. Okay, next. Is the book standing on the table? Are the books standing on the table? No, the
No,
books aren't
their books aren't
standing on the table.
standing on the table.
They are lying on the
They are
table.
lying on the table.
Is it comfortable to sleep lying down or sitting up? Is it comfortable to sleep lying down or sitting up? It's more
It's
comfortable
more
to
comfortable
sleep lying
to
down
sleep lying down
than sitting up.
than sitting up.
Reggie, do you find it comfortable to sleep without a pillow? Do you find it comfortable to sleep without a pillow? Yes or no?
No, I
I
don't.
don't find it
I don't
comfortable
find it comfortable
to sleep without
to
a
sleep
pillow.
without a pillow.
I find it
I find it
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Very good. Okay, do you usually go to sleep before midnight? Do you usually go to sleep before midnight? Yes or no?
No,
I
I don't
don't usually
usually
go to sleep
go to
before
sleep
midnight.
before midnight.
Wait, do you generally wake up early? Do you generally wake up early? Yes or no?
No,
I
I,
don't
I
generally
don't
wake up
generally wake
early.
up early.
What are the 3 forms of wake up? What are the 3 forms of wake up? The three
The
forms
three
of wake
forms
up
of wake up
are wake up,
are wake
woke
up,
up, woken
woke
up.
up, woken up.
Wait, what was the first thing you saw when you woke up today? What was the first thing you saw when you woke up today? The first thing I
The
saw
first thing I
when I
saw
woke up today,
when I
when
woke
I
up
woke
today
was
was ceiling.
the ceiling. Very good. Have you ever woken up too late to go to work? Have you ever woken up too late to go to work? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've
I've
sometimes
I've sometimes
woken up too late
woken up too
to
late
go to work.
to go to work
To work. Very good.
to
Okay,
work.
next. Okay, so when you look through your bedroom window, what do you see? When you look through your bedroom window, what do you see? When I look through
When I look through
my bedroom window,
my bedroom window,
I see
I I see other buildings.
other buildings. Very good. Okay. If you went from London to Rome, which cities would you perhaps have to go through? If you went from London to Rome, which cities would you perhaps have to go through? If I went
If I
from
went
London to
from
Rome,
London to
I
Rome,
would
I
perhaps
would
have
perhaps
to go through
have to go through
Paris, Milan,
Paris, Milan,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Okay. What is he doing? What is he doing? He's putting his
He's
pen
putting his pen
through the buttonhole
through the buttonhole
in his shirt.
in his shirt.
Very good. Okay. Would you like a career in the army? Would you like a career in the army? Yes or no?
No, I
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't like a
No,
career
I wouldn't like a career
in the
in
army.
the army.
Very good. Okay. Next, what's this? What's this? It's a cross.
It's a cross.
When a teacher puts a cross next to an answer in a written test, what does it mean? When a teacher puts a cross next to an answer in a written test, what does it mean? When a teacher
When a
puts a
teacher
cross
puts a cross
next to an answer
next to an answer
in a written test,
in a written
it
test,
means the
it
answer
means
is
the
wrong.
answer is wrong.
Where are there any crossroads at the end of the street where you live? Are there any crossroads at the end of the street where you live? Yes or no?
Yes,
There are some
there are some
crossroads at
crossroads
the end of the
at the
street
end of the
where
street
I live.
where I live.
Very good. What color do we use for danger? What color do we use for danger? We use red
We used
for
red
danger.
for danger.
Is it dangerous to drive after drinking alcohol? Is it dangerous to drive after drinking alcohol? Yes, it's
Yes,
dangerous
it's
to drive
dangerous to
after
drive
drinking
after
alcohol.
drinking alcohol.
Would you like to live dangerously like a detective, somebody like Sherlock Holmes, for example? Would you like to live dangerously like a detective, somebody like Sherlock Holmes, for example? Yes or no?
No, I
I wouldn't
I
like
wouldn't
to
like
live
to
dangerously
live
like
dangerously
a detective,
like a
somebody
detective.
like
Somebody
Sherlock
likes
Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Very good. What's the difference between these two sentences? I must study and I should study. What's the difference between these two sentences? I must study and I should study. The difference
The
between
difference
those
between
two
those
sentences
two
is that
sentences
I must
is that
study
I
means
must study
that I
means
have
that I
no
have no
alternatives,
alternatives,
whereas I should study
whereas
means
I should study
I
means
have
I have
alternatives, but
alternatives,
that studying
but that
is
studying
the right thing
is the right
for
thing
me to do.
for me to do.
Very good. How do we translate I must study? How do we translate I must study? We translate
We
I must
translate
study
I must
with
study
私は
we
勉強.
私は勉強しなくてはいけない in Japanese.
Very good. Do you think people should be more polite in the shops and streets? Do you think people should be more polite in the shops and streets? Yes, I
Yes,
think people
I think
should
people
be more
should
polite
be more
in the
polite
shops
in
and
the shops,
streets.
in the street,
And streets.
and street.
Very good. Do you agree that students should study hard? Do you agree that students should study hard? Yes, I
Yes,
agree
I
that
agree
students
that
should
students
study hard.
to study hard.
Do you agree that young people should help the old? Do you agree that young people should help the old? Yes, I
Yes,
agree
I
that
agree
young
that
people
young
should
people
help the
should
old.
help the old.
What should we do when somebody is dangerously ill? What should we do when somebody is dangerously ill? When somebody
When
is
somebody
dangerously
is
ill,
dangerously
we
ill,
should
we
immediately
should
call an
immediately call
ambulance.
an ambulance.
What do you think you should do if you want to make a lot of money? Huh? What do you think you should do if you want to make a lot of money? If you want to
If we
make
want
a
to
lot of
make
money,
a lot of money,
I think you should.
I think you should get lottery.
Ah, that's right there. But it's a big chance. Okay, next 99 or 1% chance. Okay.
Mm.
Next, do you correct your dictations during the lesson? Do you correct your dictations during the lesson? Yes or no?
No,
I don't correct
I
my
don't correct
dictations
my
during the
dictations
lesson.
during the
I
lesson.
correct them
I
after the
correct them
lesson.
after the lesson.
Where in a Callan Method lesson, does the teacher correct your grammatical mistakes? In a Callan Method lesson, does the teacher correct your grammatical mistakes? Yes. In a
Yes,
Callan Method
in the
lesson,
Callan Method
the
lesson,
teacher
the
corrects
teacher
my
corrects
grammatical
my
mistakes.
grammatical mistakes.
Very good. How can we correct our mistakes in our pronunciation? How can we correct our mistakes in our pronunciation? We can correct
We can
our
correct
mistakes
our
in
mistakes
our
in our
pronunciation by
pronunciation
listening and
by
speaking
listening and
as
speaking
much as
as
possible.
much as possible.
Right, if you have a problem with a colleague at work, should you speak to your boss about it? If you have a problem with a colleague at work, should you speak to your boss about it? Yes. If I
Yes,
have
if
a
I have
problem
a
with a
problem
colleague at
with
work,
a colleague at
I
work,
should speak
I should
to my
speak
boss
to
about it.
my boss about it.
Very good. Can smoking cause health problems? Can smoking cause health problems? Yes,
Yes,
smoking can cause
smoking can cause
health problems.
health problems.
Where in history have many people died for the causes of freedom and justice? In history have many people died for the causes of freedom and justice? Yes, in
Yes,
history
in history,
many people have
many
died
people have died
for the causes
for the
of
causes
freedom and
of
justice.
freedom and justice.
Very good. As we have now studied about 1,000 words and a lot of the grammar, can you hold a simple conversation in English? As we have now studied about 1,000 words and a lot of the grammar, can you hold a simple conversation in English? Yes. As we
Yes,
have now
as we have now
studied about
studying
a
about
thousand
a
words
thousand
and
words
a lot of
and
the
a lot
grammar,
of the grammar,
I can hold
I can
a
hold
simple
a simple
conversation in
conversation
English.
in English.
Very good. As you are not tall enough to reach the ceiling, what would you have to do if you wanted to reach it? As you are not tall enough to reach the ceiling, what would you have to do if you wanted to reach it? As I am
If,
not
as I am
tall
not
enough
tall
to
enough
reach the
to
ceiling,
reach the
I
ceiling,
would have
I
to
would
put
have
the chair
to put the
on
chair
the table
and on the table
and stand on the
and
chair
stand on the
if
chair
I wanted
if
to
I
reach it.
wanted to reach it.
Very good. Okay, give me a sentence with that is in it. Give me a sentence with the word that is in it, please. Everybody loves
Everybody
that film.
loves that film.
That is
That is
everybody I've
everybody
spoken to.
I've spoken to.
We will go to the
We
cinema
will we will go to the cinema
this evening.
this evening.
That is if we
That
have
is
enough
if
money.
we have enough money.
Very good. Have you ever broken any of the bones in your body? Have you ever broken any of the bones in your body? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've
never
never
broken any of
broken
the bones
any of the
in my
bones in
body.
my body.
Very good. Okay. Next. Okay. What's the plural of life? What's the plural of life? The plural
The
of life
plural
is
of life
lives.
is
Do you
lives.
think the lives of the poor are happier than those of the rich? Do you think the lives of the poor are happier than those of the rich? Yes or no?
No, I don't think
The lives of the
the
poor
lives of the
are
poor
happier
are
than
happier
those of the
than those
rich.
of the rich.
I think they are less
I think
happy.
they are less happy.
Make a sentence with the word although in it. Make a sentence with the word although in it, please. Although the food
Although
was
the
not
food
very
was
nice,
not very
I
nice,
ate it
I ate it
because I was hungry.
because I was hungry.
Very good. Although you're now able to hold a simple conversation in English, do you think you should keep studying? Although you're not able to hold a simple conversation in English, do you think you should keep studying? Yes.
Yes,
Although I'm
although
now able
I'm now
to
able
hold
to hold
a simple
a
conversation
simple
in
conversation
English,
in
I
English,
think
I
I
think
should keep
I
studying.
should keep studying.
Very good. Are some people always happy although they have problems in their lives? Are some people always happy although they have problems in their lives? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes,
Some people
some people
are always happy
are always happy
although they have
although they
problems
have a problems
in their lives.
in their life.
Very good. Okay, is there a restaurant near there that cooks tasty food? Is there a restaurant near there that cooks tasty food? Yes or no?
Yes,
There's a restaurant
there's a restaurant
near here
near
that
here
cooks tasty
that
food.
cooks tasty food.
Very good. Is it difficult to cook pasta? Is it difficult to cook pasta? No, it
No,
isn't
it
difficult
isn't
to
difficult
cook
to
pasta.
cook pasta.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Very good. Are you a good cook? Are you a good cook? Yes or no?
No, I
I'm
don't.
not a good
I'm
cook.
not a good cook.
Very good. Do you think that all the countries of the world should be independent? Do you think that all the countries of the world should be independent? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think that
I
all the
think that
countries
all the
of the world
countries of the
should be
world
independent.
should be independent.
Very good. Do many European languages have their origins in Latin? Do many European languages have their origins in Latin? Yes, many
Yes,
European
many
languages
European languages
have their
is, have
origins
their origins
in Latin.
in Latin.
Very good. Why don't you take this book home with you after the lesson? Why don't you take this book home with you after the lesson? I don't take
I
that
don't
book
take
home
that
with
book
me
home with me
after the lesson
after the lesson
because it doesn't
because
belong to
it
me.
doesn't belong to me.
Very good. Who does this pen belong to? Who does this pen belong to? That pen
That
belongs
pen
to you.
belongs to you.
If a factory belonged to you, do you think he would be able to make a lot of money? If a factory belonged to you, do you think he would be able to make a lot of money? Yes or no?
Yes,
If a
I.
factory
If a factory
belonged to me,
belonged to
I
me,
think I
I
would be
think
able
I would be
to
able
make a lot
to
of
make
money.
a lot of money.
Very good. What can we use instead of would be able in conditional sentences? What can we use instead of would be able in conditional sentences? We can use
We can
could
use
instead
could
of would
instead
be
of
able
would be
in
able
conditional
in
sentences.
conditional sentences.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. If I was a
If
bird,
I was a
I
bird,
could fly.
I could fly.
Very good. Okay, now I'm going to ask you some questions with could, and you answer with would be able and vice versa. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
If you are very, very tall, could you touch the ceiling? If you are very, very tall, could you touch the ceiling? Yes. If
Yes.
I were
If I were
very, very tall,
very very tall,
I would be
I
able
would be
to
able
touch the
to
ceiling.
touch the ceiling.
If you were a doctor, would you be able to help people who were ill? If you're a doctor, would you be able to help people who were ill? Yes. If I
It's
were a
if I
doctor,
were a doctor,
I could help
I
people
could help
who
people
were ill.
who are ill.
Wait, if you were as strong as a horse, could you lift a man above your head with only one hand? If you're as strong as a horse, could you lift a man above your head with only one hand? Yes. If
Yes.
I were
If I
as
were
strong as a
as strong
horse,
as a
I
horse,
would be able
I would be
to lift
able
a man
to lift a
above
man
my head
above my
with
head
only one
with
hand.
only one head.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You're going
You are
to throw
going
your
to
pen
throw your
at
pen
the window.
at the window.
Do you think you could throw a stone further than I can? Do you think you could throw a stone further than I can? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't think
I
I
don't
could
think
throw a
I could
stone
throw a stone
further than you can.
farther than you can.
Wait, is Napoleon alive? Is Napoleon alive? No.
No,
Napoleon isn't alive.
Napoleon isn't
He's
alive.
dead.
He's dead.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're dropping your
You're
pen
dropping your
on
pen
the table.
on the table.
What's the pen doing? What's the pen doing? The pen's
The
dropping
pen's dropping
on the table.
on the table.
Very good. What would happen if I drop a glass on the floor? What would happen if I drop a glass on the floor? If you
If
drop a
you
glass
drop
on the
a
floor,
glass on the
it
floor,
would break.
it would break.
What's the longest you have ever gone without drinking a drop of water? What's the longest you have ever gone without drinking a drop of water? The longest
The
I've
longest
ever gone
I've ever gone
without drinking
without
a
drinking
drop of water
a drop
is
of water is 5 minutes.
the barrel. That's very short. Okay. What happened to President Kennedy? What happened to President Kennedy? President Kennedy
President
was
Kennedy was
assassinated
assassinated
in
in
1963.
1963.
Very good. Did anything unusual happen to you yesterday? Did anything unusual happen to you yesterday? Yes or no?
Yes,
Something
uh,
unusual
something unusual
happened to me
happened to
yesterday.
me yesterday.
Very good. Is it usual for people in your country to eat hot food for breakfast? Is it usual for people in your country to eat hot food for breakfast? Yes or no?
Yes,
It's usual for
it's
people
usual
in
for
my
people
country
in my
to
country
eat hot food
to eat hot
for
food
breakfast.
for breakfast.
Very good. Is it unusual for children to find coffee tasty? Is it unusual for children to find coffee tasty? Yes, it's
Yes, it's
unusual
unusual
for children
for
to
children
find
to
coffee
find
tasty.
coffee tasty.
Very good. Okay, next. What's the difference between still and yet? What's the difference between still and yet? The difference
The
between
difference
still
between
and yet
still and
is
yet
that we
is
use
that
still
we use
for
still
something
for
that
something
is in progress
that is in progress
at the moment,
at the moment,
whereas we use
whereas
yet
we use
for
yet
something
for for
that has
something
not
that
begun
has not
or
begun
happened.
or happened.
We generally use
We
still
generally use still
in positive
in
sentences,
positive sentences,
whereas we
whereas
generally
we
use yet
generally use yet
in questions
in questions
and negative
and
sentences.
negative sentences.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. It's still winter.
It's still
It
winter.
isn't spring yet.
It isn't spring yet.
Has the lesson finished yet? Has the lesson finished yet? No, the lesson
No, the
hasn't
lesson
finished yet.
hasn't finished
It's
yet.
still in
It's
progress.
still in progress.
Have we finished speaking yet? Have we finished speaking yet? No, we
No,
haven't finished
we haven't
speaking
finished
yet.
speaking
We're
yet.
still speaking.
We are still speaking.
Where have they gone home yet? Have they gone home yet? No, they
No,
haven't
they
gone
haven't
home yet.
gone home
They're
yet.
still here.
They are still here.
Very good. Has the winter begun yet? Has the winter begun yet? No, the
No,
winter
the
hasn't
winter
begun yet.
hasn't begun yet.
It's still
It's
autumn.
still autumn.
Will I still be in this country in 2 weeks' time? Will I still be in this country in 2 weeks' time? Yes, you'll still
Yes,
be
you'll still
in
be
that country
in that
in
country
2 weeks' time.
in 2 weeks' time.
Very good. Okay. Are the bottoms of your shoes clean? Are the bottoms of your shoes clean? No, the
No,
bottoms
the
of my
bottoms
shoes
of my
aren't
shoes
clean.
aren't clean.
They're dirty.
They are dirty.
Very good. When our shoes are dirty, what should we do? When our shoes are dirty, what should we do? When our shoes
When
are
our
dirty,
shoes are
we
dirty,
should clean them.
we should clean them.
Which do you think is the cleanest city you know of? Which do you think is the cleanest city you know of? I think
I think I
uh,
think Singapore
is the cleanest city
is the cleanest city
I know of.
I know of.
And which do you think is the dirtiest? Which do you think is the dirtiest? I think
I think
ABC country
ABC country
is the dirtiest.
is the dirtiest.
Very good. Which do you think is less unpleasant? The dirt of the city, the dirt of the country, of the farm, etc. Which do you think is less unpleasant? The dirt of the city or the dirt of the country, of the farm, etc. I think
I think
the dirt of
I
the
think the dirt of the city
is less unpleasant
is less
than
unpleasant
the dirt
than the dirt
of the country,
of the
of the
country,
farm,
of the
etc.
farm, etc.
Very good. Okay. Do you remember if you're afraid of the dark when you were a little child? Do you remember if you're afraid of the dark when you were a little child? Yes or no?
Yes,
I was.
I
I
I
remember.
was I remember
I was
I
afraid
I
of the
was
dark
afraid of the dark
when I was a little
when I
child.
was a little child.
Would you be afraid to go round the world in a small open boat? Would you be afraid to go round the world in a small open boat? Yes or no?
Yes,
I would be
I would
afraid
be afraid
to go round the
to
world
go around the
in
road
a small open
in the
boat.
small open boat.
Do people shake when they feel very afraid? Do people shake when they feel very afraid? Yes, people
Yes,
shake
people
when
shake
they
when
feel
they feel
very afraid.
very afraid.
Very good. What's the best way to guard against becoming ill? What's the best way to guard against becoming ill? The best way
The
to
best
guard
way to
against
guard
becoming ill
against becoming ill
is
is
to eat
to
healthy food,
eat healthy food,
sleep well,
to sleep well,
and do exercise.
and do exercise.
Must we be on our guard when we buy something from a man selling things in the street? Must we be on our guard when we buy something from a man selling things in the street? Yes, we must
Yes,
be
we
on
must
our
be
guard
on our
when
guard
we buy
when
something
we buy something
from a man
from
selling
a man
things in the
selling
street.
things in the street
Why? Why? Because maybe
because
we
maybe
won't be
we
able
won't be
to
able
find him
to
again
find him
if
again
there's a
if
problem
there's a problem
with the thing we bought.
with the thing we bought.
What's the opposite of on your guard? What's the opposite of on your guard? The opposite
The
of
opposite
on your guard
on your guard
is off your guard.
is off your guard.
Wait, what's the best way to calm somebody down when he's very angry? What's the best way to calm somebody down when he's very angry? The best way
The
to
best
calm
way to
somebody
calm
down.
somebody down.
Okay, but we stop there for today.
Oh,
Very good. Very good practice for today and excellent.